Now, page 4, undoing the civil society. In order for the modern Democrat Party, through its human assault vehicles, Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez et al., to make over America from a constitutional republic into some kind of socialist utopia, it must attack the fundamentals of our culture. They remove God, they remove history, they remove teaching the Constitution, and they expand the size and scope of government. Take criminal justice reform, so-called, for example. Our criminal justice system is the best in the world, bar none. No other country comes close to equal justice for all. Yet, to the radical left, it's the perfect target. Accuse the system of being racist and biased. Accuse the police of being bad guys. Let the criminals out of jail, and voila. They have destroyed one of the pillars of our civil society, and they're trying to execute this attack at all levels. They demonize the healthcare system, and we get Medicare for all. They demand free college. And, of course, the Green New Deal, which is nothing more than the official roadmap to fundamentally transform this constitutional republic into a banana republic. Yes, attack, attack, attack the civil society, especially on the national security front. In other words, the fascist left wants America to be vulnerable to outside forces so they can ride to the rescue with more top-down government control. Right, Hakeem Jeffries, Mr. Congressman from New York?
The Trump administration's family separation policy...
Stop, Dave. It's not a family separation policy, as we keep hearing. It is the reality of dealing with criminals and criminal activity. Let's say, Mr. Congressman, you're a bad guy, you're a bank robber in New York, and you're driving around in your car and you have your child in the back seat of your bank robbing car, and the police pull you over, and then they figure out that you are the bank robber, and they have you get out of the car, and they handcuff you, and they arrest you for being a bank robber. What are they going to do with that child in the back seat of your car exactly? What happens next? Well, apparently, you're going to get separated from your child. This is what happens in a civil society. This is what you call law and order. This is what happens when a person commits a crime and they happen to have a child in tow. Unfortunately, it happens in this country every day. And it happens with illegal immigrants who violate our sovereignty. Get it? It's not a family separation policy. It's called executing the law of the land. Roll tape.
And the practice of ripping children out of the hands of their parents.
Stop tape. First of all, if those children really are their children, in other words, those are the parents of that child or children who have violated our border, the question should be, why did you do that to your child? To me, it's tantamount to child abuse. When you use your child as some kind of weapon in order to exploit another country, that would be us, that to me is child abuse. But there's another component to all this, Congressman. We know that many of these children are being abused by people who are not even their parents. And we know that many of these children from Central America, once they are eventually, if they are, sent back to Central America from the United States, they are used again as props in order for these people to come here and say, hey, I have a child. This is my child. I get to have preferential treatment, because that's unfortunately the way the law reads. If you happen to breach our sovereignty and you have a child in tow, you get preferential treatment. That's not necessarily what the law says, but it's what the court has deemed, and unfortunately, we're following what these lawyers in black robes are deeming to be the proper course of procedure when we deal with illegal immigrants and their children. It's an absolute mess, and this guy's fundamental job should be to fix it. Instead, he's sitting there throwing gasoline on the fire. Roll tape.
Was un-American, unacceptable.
Stop tape. Let me tell you about what's un-American and unacceptable right now. We are looking at another crisis at the border, an even bigger crisis. Here are some numbers. 100,000. They're expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 illegal immigrants to be attacking our border this month. That's the low number. The high number is 500,000. That would be 500,000 March alone. They did a survey among illegal immigrants down in Central America, potential illegal immigrants. 5 million want to breach our border.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.